love that
For this particular.
The last time it was at like
Welcome to Ministers Talking a weekly program where Rev BRZ and Rev Z and their guests chat about current affairs, world events, spiritual principles, and any old they want to talk about. Based on the New Thought philosophy and ancient wisdoms, Ministers Talking shares a visionary perspective of the evolving spiral called spiritual living. Join us each week as we explore the emerging paradigm of life on planet Earth and beyond.
And hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you here, hiding behind the banner. Let's fix that right away. Nothing like mobile production to keep you on your toes. Welcome to Ministers Talking Shit. Today is October 10th, 2025. It is the final day of the ANTN conference. And the good news for you is that means you don't get to see ANTN commercials on New Thought Media Network for a little while. Well, we've been hammering people with these commercials. So, as is our tradition here at the Anton Retreat, we have on Friday mornings a collection of ministers because we're surrounded by them, and there's a whole bunch off screen here. Yeah, we've got a peanut gallery today too. But in studio with us, we have the Reverend Dr. Ruth Miller, Reverend Dr. Joyful Fletcher, Reverend Dr. Stacy Milne. We got the doctorate. I lose track. Tiffany Milne. Sorry, what did I say? Don't worry about what I said. Her name is Reverend Dr. Tiffany Milne. Reverend Eamon Duffy and Reverend Michael Mangus are with us today, and we might have a few people drop in and say hello as they come along. So let's start with some introductions. Let's say hello.
Hello.
And tell us something.
Well, I'm Reverend Eamon with the New Thought Men's Community, and it's just been such an amazing time here, having fun, getting recharged, just being with my people, and just enjoying this time together.
Oh, come on. Tell us what you got coming up.
Okay. We do have an awesome event. It's the New Thought Men's Community. We have a summit every year. This year, it's November 10th through the 19th. So it's open to all. It's online. It's self-paced, so you can watch it anytime. So hope you join us for that. You can find that at newthoughtmen's.community.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm Reverend Dr. Tiffany Milne. I'm with Global Truth Center Los Angeles. I was looking at myself. I like looking at myself. Have a touch of the narcissism? No, I'm just kidding. What else can I say? What's next for me? I am headed home to my babies. I miss my babies. I'm very excited. And also coming out of this week, we've committed last night to starting a social action component to Global Truth Center. And I'm really excited to get home and kick that off.
Right? Oh.
Wonderful. I'm Reverend Joy Fletcher, and I'm so happy to be here this week at Anton. It's been fun and energizing, inspiring. I'm also a co-host of Divine Science Everywhere, which broadcasts Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And join me and my co-host, Bishop Durrell Watkins and Reverend Jeff Radcliffe. We have a blast. We interview New Thought ministers and guests and talk about divine science principles, and it's a lot of fun. Well, I'll add to that because it was a lot of fun. She was very kind and invited me to come play. Thank you. I'm Ruth Miller, and I inherited the Emerson Institute this year. And we had an amazing year. We managed to get a new curriculum and a catalog, and I brought 135 catalogs, and I have not taken any of them home.
Yeah.
Everybody took one, which is great. And a bunch of the instructors and centers have been able to learn a little more about how we can make things happen together. And I'm just really pleased about that. But besides that, to be in this group with the consciousness and the love that happens at Anton retreats, oh my goodness, how could we not be overjoyed? Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
I need to get a name, man. My sister.
Dr. PJ Stanley.
Yes, Dr. PJ. Hi there, I'm Michael Angus, and I am an assistant minister and also a producer on the New Thought Media Network. And, one of my great joys that was this year is producing this wonderful lady. Her program, History of New Thought, so that's available on YouTube. And, been a busy week here, and great time. And I tell you, I've been spending a lot of time. I've been working on the tech. It's gone pretty well. What do you think, Robert?
I have no concerns about that whatsoever. Because what I want to talk about, and this might be an interesting question for all of us, because we're metaphysicians, we're positive thinkers, but I've heard a lot of great vision this week. I've heard a lot of great story this week, but I got a question for all of you, because we don't like to play small around here. Where is New Thought still playing small? Where is New Thought missing the boat? Where is not New Thought not fully stepping up to our potential?
Robert, you may need to leave your chair and let Dr. Britt really. So one of the things we were able to do, do let her come in on that one, please. One of the things we were able to do at this conference, this retreat, was introduce someone that's been doing incredible work in exactly that area. And we were just chatting, she and I, right before this thing started, about how so many of us are so caught up in what being a minister, being a spiritual leader, being loving, we forget that we have to have some structure in place, and we forget that there is a way that we could be structured, that we could reach out. And I'm turning it over to her, Dr. Tanya Beverly. Reverend Doctor.
Hello, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Tanya Beverly from the Center for Spiritual Awareness in West Sacramento, California. Oh, wow. Where is New Thought playing small? I think our centers are shrinking. That is the reoccurring challenge that I hear over and over again. And we have to ask ourselves the question, why? Why aren't people coming to our centers? Why wouldn't people want to hear this message around liberating their minds and their lives and their hearts? Is because New Thought is contained within walls. And we don't go out into the community and take our message out there. We can't continue. Attrition is going to happen. So if it's going to happen, that means we have to be a constant out there in the world, letting folks know what we're doing and recruiting folks to come back in. So you have to have programming within your church that's going to keep them there, because you got the retention part. So you can bring them in, but are they going to stay? That's a big question. And so if you don't want to go outside the church, then expect what you get. If people don't know that you're there, you don't market, you're not out there, how do you expect to grow? And if you want to grow your communities, you have to incorporate things that are of value to people. Today, social justice matters. The conversations. I said last night, someone came up to me and said, you mentioned about this white group that you have at your church. And I called it a white affinity group. And the reason, and during our social justice work, and in New Thought, we often talk about separation. There is no separation in New Thought. But in social justice work, in order to do the healing of trauma and generational trauma, you have to separate and be with your tribe. You have to have the cultural understanding. So if I get in a mixed group, you may not understand what I've gone through. But if I'm in a group of folks that have experienced, right? So we got to get out of this thing about no separation, because separation in this healing work is vital. And so we separate folks out into groups, we bring them back together. We separate them out so that they can do their healing, and then we bring them back together as a collective so that we can hear about the healing. that took place in the separation.
Yeah.
And so the social justice component shows up for me in every part of my work. I shared about farming. That farming, I'm talking about liberating and saving lives. And not only by feeding people, because that's a dependency. I'm talking about teaching people how to grow food.
Yeah.
Right.
That liberation is what I'm talking about, right? My godchildren, right? They live in South Central Los Angeles in an area that is challenged. And I have taught them, they live in an apartment. I have taught them how to grow food. They have food growing out in front of their apartment, going down the stairs and around the corner. My 7-year-old, he collects seeds.
Yes.
He knows how to compost. He understands the importance of regeneration and plant life. And when he harvests something, he gives back.
Right on.
So everything that we do has a social justice component. I'm getting ready for my Founders Day at my church, and I shared that I got involved with the Clinton Global Foundation. And it's a cohort. So I had to spend 10 months in this cohort, going every month, right? So most of us say, I don't have time for that. But let me tell you the investment. The investment in me participating in that cohort, I was able to get $4,000 in a grant. But not only that, I got a chance to meet folks that I would never have met. It's an interfaith organization.
Right on.
I met folks that there's no way we would have come together. Now we have an interfaith team that is in Sacramento. We put together a resource guide around addiction and recovery. And now I have an annual day, which I call it Founders Day. My founding minister comes back on her birthday. She has 50 years in recovery. My entire platform is all in recovery that day. And then we distribute Narcan. We distribute fentanyl strips. We give condoms, okay? I have an agreement with the county of Sacramento that they will, all I have to do is clip a QR code and they will replenish my Narcan and my fentanyl strips.
There we go.
So these partnerships that I'm talking about, I'm not spending money. I'm leveraging partnerships. What can you do? I can market you. I can bring you in. I will come in and do a retreat for you. What can you do for me? And so I think we need to start looking at what's in the environment. How can we leverage partnerships? And what do you really want to do? What's your intention? When you say you want to grow your community, do you really want to grow your community? Because when people tell me that, they say, oh, we want a diverse community. I go in, I look around, I look at their vision board. There's no people of color on the vision board.
Right. That's right.
Right? What do you go out in the community? Oh no, we put flyers out there. Is there someone handing out the flyers, making connections to people? So this is not rocket science. And I think most of us think that we have to be right. No. It's basic.
Right on.
So anyway,
That's beautiful. We just gave her the Heart of Emerson Award for this work we just saw. And the piece that's really cool there is that marketing, we don't have to market. I'm speaking on Sunday. We can market, we're doing this event. We can say, you want to be part of this event with us? You know, one of the churches I'm working with right now, we're doing a co-event with the local synagogue because we have a facility that will allow them to do what they're doing, right? And that's getting marketing for us as well, right? And those kinds of things we can all do. And that will help New Thought be more integrated, if you don't mind that word, into the community, which then allows all of that possibility to unfold. Yes?
Yes.
Go ahead, but I want to introduce.
This marvelous minister up here.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Just go ahead. Short cord. No.
Drop the port, dude.
Drop the cord. There you go.
Cord.
There you go.
There you go.
Just talk about it. I don't know. I'm on the roll over here.
What's
Oh
up?
my goodness. I've missed most of the conversation.
Where's New Thought going?
You have to introduce yourself
Oh.
first.
Lean in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can they see you? Yeah, they can see me.
Okay, good.
I'm Reverend Dr. Michelle Izubu, and I am co-minister of Feminine Ministries, and our service on Sundays is called Sofa Sundays. We broadcast live through the New Thought Media Network. Also, is that the question? Where's our
Where's New Thought missing things? Where are we missing? What are we not bringing to the table?
Authenticity, I think, just speaking from our truth. Beginning within. So we're called Begin Within Ministries because the work has to begin within. I think when I look around and I don't like what I see in different areas, I have to find that within myself because that's where it exists. I never can say though. I never can say this word, but the hono. How do we say that? Hono.
To make it
Right. That prayer means so much to me because it reminds me that when I see something in the world that hurts my heart or makes me upset, I immediately say that prayer because I am responsible. I'm responsible because the ripple effect is real. We know that that's what happens. So I'm somehow contributing to that. So maybe I can't go across the world and I can't bring food and I can't, leave my family and go over there and do things, feet on the ground. But I do have something I can do right here, right now, every single day from inside of me out to you. And I think when my husband and I talk a lot about this, and Jean and I talked about looking around just a mile radius around wherever you live, just take your mile. You've been saying the same thing. Take your mile and look there. What can you do? If we all just did our own mile, the ripple effect would create the change that we all want to see. But it has to begin in here. I can't look to you and say, hey, you this and you do that. It's me. I'm recognizing myself in that. So that's why we named our ministry that way, because all of the work begins, and then we'll see it.
Yes, it looks to me like Joyful has something.
Well, I'm not affiliated with the center. However, I work with hospice as a chaplain and a bereavement coordinator, and I express divine science principles without saying it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
People are really searching and they're hurt and possibly feel very damaged by their own past religion. And so we have an opportunity to express it in different ways and in different settings, as well as my husband and I also participate in protests and march. And it's important to bring your consciousness with you when you do that, because there are occasional people that think differently than we do, and they make a point of continuously driving the circle and yelling things and giving you a universal symbol that you wouldn't use. And so it's just best to bless them and possibly affirm to yourself that they find the peace and the security that they think they're looking for, as we are, and just stand in our own truth. Thank you.
So let's let Skip do something.
Yeah. Hi, y'all. I am Reverend Skip Jennings, and I'm grateful to have a show on this network called High Vibe Hour. It's on Friday. Actually, it's going to come in today at 10 o'clock along with Julie Moretz. And I love this network because I get to say what I want to say and not be all fearful. And what I do know and what I see as a queer Black minister, what's missing is seeing more queer Black ministers and leadership in our community. And once you put us up front, or whoever up front, or a woman or whoever, we draw people in. The other thing is that we are now trying to figure out how do we have conversations in our community about fully integrating the oneness, radical oneness. Their churches have never, ever, ever seen a trans woman or trans man come into their churches. And when they do, it's kind of, what do we do? What do we do? Because they're not willing to have that conversation, to be proactive, knowing that we're showing up. We're coming to your communities because we are a haven. I believe too, and this is not very popular, but I believe that we need to stop thinking that there's a separation from church and state, because I believe we vote with our values. And until we get around that and understanding that these things that we're seeing on this planet right now, it's not about red or blue. It's about human rights. It's about coming up as the inspiration of oneness. When you listen, I believe that we can see what is needed and hold the consciousness of what we believe. That means I don't believe in killing people. I don't believe in, marginalizing or deporting someone because of who they are. I believe that we can make a community that works for everybody. And we talk about this quite a bit on this network, which I love, and this is why I love your show. I love this show a little bit less than my show, but it's like,
Let's just be real.
I love my show, but we have to have the freedom to speak these words and not be afraid. I understand that we tiptoe on the pulpit, and I get that. But we have to have a platform where we can just say what is happening. Let's call a thing a thing. And that's how we're going to rise up as a community, all of us, when we stop being fearful of really saying what's happening out there. And I love it when I get to sit in on this show with Reverend Bill. We had the last couple of weeks. It was so awesome, and it was so much fun. Because we've got to get really honest, having an authentic, honest communication about what's happening in this world. That is new thought. And as I was talking to my sister over there, Tanya, we're saying this is not new. This is ancient wisdom. This is new thought, ageless wisdom. And we're going back to what was said in the beginning, that we're all one. But how do we get back there? By having an honest communication. And so it is, amen.
Thank you. This is Reverend Dr. PJ Stanley, and I just wanted to jump up on what you said, Michelle, right? Yes. Because part of the thing that's always being asked is, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Well, what's yours to do? It's not about what do we do. What are you going to do?
Nice.
What? And so the question that I ask myself every single day is, what is mine to do today? And I have a lot of stories when I'm on the pulpit about my Walmart experience. So if you want to meet humanity, seriously, go in and talk to people. So I'm going when I'm shopping. But the thing is that I see somebody and they're looking sad or they're something, and I'll just say something like, how you doing? Because you don't look like you're feeling too well. And we just have a conversation, whether I'm new thought or about, none of that comes up. It's about love and humanity and reaching out where you see something needs to be done. Just do that. So we don't have to keep worrying about what new thought is about. What are you about? What are you about? And bring your whole heart every single day to whatever it is you're doing, and ask yourself, what's mine to do right now?
As is normal, folks, you ask a bunch of metaphysicians what's broken, and they immediately start telling you what's right and what's working. So let's continue on that vein. Reverend Avon, let's start with you. What is working in New Thought these days?
Okay, let me two-part it. Let me start with the original question. I think where we're falling short is greater community connection. And I was so thrilled to hear the announcement on the Raise the Roof on Tuesday evening, because it's just about all of us coming together, all of us collectively. This is that movement of CSL, of Unity, of UFBL, of Divine Science, of all of these little independent communities. And how do we bring that together? So that's a part of our mission coming up, a larger part of our mission. And I'm super excited about that. And where do we hit the mark? This philosophy, just having a positive thought in this world, taking time to meditate, taking time for our own personal sacred time to center before we go out into this bit of a nutty world these days. I think this philosophy keeps me sane, and I know so many of us grounded in principle, grounded in who we truly are, so we can say, I as a spirit see you as a spirit. I as a spirit see you as a spirit. I as a spirit see you as a spirit. So
We haven't heard from this
that's right,
yet.
absolutely.
I'm taking it all in because if I'm being really honest, I've really struggled with ministry over the last several months. What does it mean to be a new thought minister at this time in our country and in our world? And feeling like, we turn away from the relative, right? It's all consciousness, but the relative is on fire. So how do you ignore the relative and get a consciousness? And then I see ministers, getting up on a Sunday and not talking about it because that's in the relative. So we're going to talk about, what we have control over. And I'm like, yes, the people that are sitting in the seats are suffering. And I heard one of the speakers, I believe it was you, talking about meeting people where they're at. If I'm walking around in self-actualization.
Remember Dr. Beverly?
Dr. Beverly, thank you. Thank you.
I know. Me too. I know. I'm looking at like what's the name. Yeah.
And everybody else doesn't have food. I'm a fool. And so, but I also know a higher truth. And I also know that it does begin with food. It does begin with consciousness. And it does begin, do I believe that I have the power to change the course of my thoughts and make it happen? Do I not? Do I believe this teaching or do I not? And the being here has really helped to reignite that fire in me and reminds me of what I can do. I'm reminded of I'm teaching a practitioner class, and we just read Ernest Holmes' Son by the Sea, where he talks about being for something and against nothing.
Yeah, I love that.
We have a community, if I'm being really honest, in my center. It's not very diverse. And our diversity comes in the form of having people that are on the left and the right. And how do you navigate all of this stuff? If we talk about oneness, then it has to include them.
Yeah.
And if it has to include them too, but also there's this injustice happening, how do we bridge it? And also not, I don't want to be somebody that alienates anybody. I want to be somebody that brings everybody together. So what I can do and what I'm clear on is be clear on what I stand for and get involved in the things that I stand for.
That is correct.
And I can speak to it in terms of who we are. I stand for humanity is not a political statement. It's not a political statement. I stand for equality. It's not a political statement. Somehow it got all mixed up and commingled. And so what's working in New Thought is all these ministers coming together and supporting one another and having the difficult conversations and be willing to say, I'm struggling as a minister and I don't know how to continue to be the light when my light feels like a flicker, and then get recharged and
but it's still
go
a flicker.
back to my
out.
very non-diverse community and figure out how to diversify, to jump into action and how to get my community to want to rally around causes and go build houses and grow food and support those that need it. So you all are what's working in your life.
And just one thing is just start telling them about it, because you don't know, so you're going back from this conference full of information and just start the conversation. Hey, this is what, and see what they get excited about.
Yeah.
Everything's not for you to do. It's what is yours to do. We look around the world and get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
We can't allow that to happen. So that I can't fix the world. But what can I fix where I am? Not even fix it, just address.
Yeah.
What can I address? Where I stand? What sets me on fire? That's yours to do.
Yeah.
That's ours, each one individually, that's ours to do.
You all set me on fire.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
I want to say one other thing. Reverend Laura talked about bringing joy.
Yeah.
I feel that our community and the world is looking for laughter, is looking for joy.
Yeah.
How can we be more fun?
Yeah.
How can we have fun Sunday or somebody having so much joy that I need to be there on a Sunday because I'm going to experience so much joy. How can we create services that are so full of joy and happiness and gratitude where people are going, I can't listen.
What a perfect balance.
A lot of, I think, what's working is, it's not, we thought we need it, is that Reverend Skip said is true, is that we have a platform here to be able to speak about the tough subjects, the subjects that we need to be having conversations about. I think as to the question that I'm beginning about what is still missing, I think that again, going out into the community, building connection, that is how not just in the four walls, going out to really be God in this so-called darkness.
Because what New Thought teaches is what Thomas Trower told us, and that is the creative process is who and what God is. And we are that creative process becoming manifest in the world. So as we do what PJ says, yes, we go inside, we do what's coming from within, we discover how am I being creative in what is it that we as a group are.
Right. Oh, beautiful. Folks, as we said at the top of our program, this is not normal programming, but this is normal conversation for New Thought ministers, I feel. And this is part of what's so fun and fabulous about this Anton retreat is conversations like this, unrestricted. We can sneak away and have these conversations. We can share and we can talk with each other. And we're going to run out of time here real soon. So for today's broadcast. But before we do, I want to remind you, we do have a full day of programming here on New Thought Media Network coming up next. Get Rich 101 with Sekou Wrights at 8:15. It's the morning prayer. 8:30. It's Rev Melissa with the morning sip. 9:30. Viviendo de Oración, our Living in Prayer Spanish language programming. Reverend Skip and his high vibe hour is up later today. The Joy Show is at 1 o'clock. The Good News is at 5 o'clock. Pastor Michael Mangus and the Fireside Chat might happen from an airplane on the way back to Ohio at 6 o'clock tonight. But we have a ton of broadcasting. We invite you to stay with us. Jump on over to our website, hit that like, share, subscribe, the donate button especially. But before we wrap all this up, yes, I want to hear from everybody one more real quick time. What's your, and 30 seconds each, please. What's your big takeaway from this week? What is it you're taking home? What was the most transformative and the most impactful thing you heard or experienced this past week being here at ANTN's annual retreat?
For me, it's the leadership is open to what's next, open to change. And that is all we need to get started. We're on fire.
For me, I think it's where can I find value in everyone really seeing beyond what is, like, I think that my ministry will change this week. I think that I getting involved, jumping in, getting into the enthusiasm and the excitement for transformation rather than feeling like, what do we do? I remembered the name of the show and then realized I could say it. And also really seeing who people are there for instead of seeing all the things that grab my attention. You know, I was walking through the labyrinth and I was recognizing people and saying like, oh, you are really kind and compassionate and smart and bring good things into the world. And sometimes what I see is like, not that. And so I have a greater commitment to meeting people where they're at and getting fired up and going out and making stuff happen.
Right on.
For me, a deep commitment to follow where Spirit leads me. And it's not necessarily the 9-to-5 routine and et cetera, but to just go and to trust. And that was confirmed as I spontaneously opened the book after listening to Cox this week and Divine Science and Healing. And Linda Kramer said that she said, I've never known all the facts, have everything all lined up before I followed my guidance, and everything was always perfect. So thank you for that.
Love that reference to Melinda. That's beautiful. So I'm here knowing that what I have been called to do is supported and that the people that are here are going to carry it forward in beautiful ways. And I am so glad.
My takeaway is that we have resolved areas of conversation that we are having honest conversation about where we are as a people. That's thrills my heart. Different organizations. Especially from Philadelphia. It happened for me. So again, I think that we are strong together.
So I'm taking away that unity is not uniformity, and unity is power. And when we come together with our unique way that we show up as the universe has created us, show up in our thinking and our belief and the way we show up so fabulously, we're going to change this planet. But it can't just be one of us. It has to be all of us doing uniquely what we've been trying to do.
Right on. I think the importance of spiritual practice in our lives, in grounding, especially in this time right now, and the truth of that, which is spirit, having human experience. Thanks, Robert.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Come on in.
You got to come on camera.
Yeah, we've got one extra.
Okay.
Dr. Dick's going to join us. Here, join me.
And what I wanted to say was that what I wanted to say was that there was a lot of talk at the conference I just went to about taking new thought into the streets and living it, being active and making change. And I also just listened to a whole lot of great remarks about marketing centers. I worked in charity marketing for part of my career, and I thought there's great marketing minds here. So that's what makes me feel very positive. The idea that we are active and we've got good people coming together.
Tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
I'm Nick Michelli from Toronto, Canada.
Thanks, Dr. Woo! Folks, we could probably go on forever. Did I miss anyone on that last one? You got everybody right on. So I want to say thank you again to everybody out there watching. If you're watching now or live at another time, we appreciate you. We love you. On behalf of the New Thought Media Network and our extended New Thought family, you make a difference. Who you are matters and how you show up matters. And what I know is all of these folks that have been here today, and even those that had to slip away a little early, have the heart of service. And they have the heart of service, and they'd love to connect with you. They'd love to chat with you. We're making New Thought something recognizable, bigger, more expansive, taking it out into the world. And that wouldn't happen without viewers like you. So again, thanks for being with us. Join us on the New Thought Media Network. Check out the website, ntmedia.org. All of our programs are playlisted on YouTube, so check those out as well. I'm Dr. Robert. Until next time, we wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.
And thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ministers Talking. We'll be back again next week with more commentary on current affairs, world events, and any other our ministers want to talk about. And if you found value here, please share our with your friends. Until next time, peace and blessings.